Yes, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Playback. My name is Brandon.
My name is Nate.
And this is the show where two music producers take turns picking albums to talk about. Mm-hmm. And this week is second week of second annual Reggae Summer.
Yes. I have my sound effects back.
Yes, you do.
I have my sounds back.
Yeah,
for years now have not had my noisemakers, and now they're back.
Yeah, Nate can be Dubby once again. This was your pick this week. You picked, what is it? The self-titled album by Jiminy Cliff.
Yes.
Jimmy Cliff.
Like I hope you guys were able to follow this week. It's either his self-titled or, like Brandon said at the end of the last episode, Wonderful World, Beautiful People.
Yes.
Which is how I've always known it. I've always known it as that title, not Jimmy Cliff, but
right, same. And came to learn because, as is so often the case, I learned way more about the album in question than I ever knew for getting ready for this episode. And yeah, it turns out that was the title of the U.S. release of the album.
Right.
But the rest of the world knows it as Jimmy Cliff.
Jimmy Cliff.
So
the other thing,
yeah.
The other thing, I thought I was under the impression it was his first album, and it's not. There's an earlier album called Hard Road to Travel. That was his actual first album. So a whole bunch of little misnomers at the end of last episode when we were queuing you guys up to listen to this. But
so much misinformation.
Yeah, but I have never come across Hard Road to Travel. I mean, I know this song. The song's amazing, but
it's a hard road to travel.
Yeah, which
and
is
a rough way to go.
Yeah, which is on this one. I think that song appeared on like 3 of his records. It was like that first one, this one, and I think there's another one that it even appears on. So they really were trying to get some mileage out of that tune.
Maybe this time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
this. Yeah. Did the people not like the song? No. I'm perfect. It must be them. They're the problem.
It's definitely them. Actually, in the case of that song, yes, they're wrong. They're wrong. That song's awesome.
That song rules.
Yeah.
So you picked Jimmy Cliff by Jimmy Cliff. Who is this man they call Jiminy Cliff, and or what is this album, and why did you pick it?
Yes. So the theme of this year's Reggae Summer is kind of the big who is the number 2 artist? If it's if Bob Marley is our number 1, who is the number 2? I think Peter Tosh last week or last episode probably is the easy answer to that question for most people, but I think like in Jamaica, I think it's Jimmy Cliff. I think for most of the world it might actually be Jimmy Cliff. I mean,
for real ball knowers, it's like no, Jimmy Cliff is
for yes. I think he's the he is to me like the guy who they tried so hard to set him up to succeed in the same way that Bob Marley succeeded, but the way they went about it was completely different. Like they really, what they did was, like with Marley, it's like they marketed Marley and him and his like cult of personality and like his songwriting and his music and musicianship and like all the ways that he was this kind of very almost saintly like figure. But with Jimmy Cliff, it's like they really tried to approach him from like a traditional pop star kind of marketing angle, and it's really evident on this album, which like is one of my favorite reggae albums ever made. I love this album pretty much top to bottom. There's a couple songs that I don't care for quite as much, but for the most part, this could almost serve as like a Jimmy Cliff like greatest hits album, like in a lot of ways. Like most of his good shit is on this album.
Pretty darn close, yeah.
But at the same time, there is straight up non-reggae tracks on this album. Like they are not reggae tracks.
Just a straight up rock and roll song.
Straight up rock and roll songs, or like many rivers to cross. Many rivers to cross is like,
it's not a reggae song.
Not a reggae song. It's like a soul tune. It's Jimmy Cliff famously covered Cat Stevens, and that's what I would compare it to. It sounds like a Cat Stevens song or something, and even in the way it's like recorded. So it's interesting. It's like a Jamaican artist, obviously bringing all of his Jamaican-ness and everything that comes with that to the work, but the way that the record was produced and the way the songs were treated was to try and appeal to the rock and roll listening audience, which is really different, and it's really unique. There's a lot of ways you hear the reggae recording industry in Jamaica try and like crack the nut of like breaking out in America or the UK or whatever, but not a lot of them went like the Sly Stone rock funk way, right? Like Jimmy Cliff did. So I've always loved it for that, just for being kind of a weird little outlier while at the same time being just such an all-encompassing great snapshot of like why Jimmy Cliff is so good as a performer, a singer, a songwriter. Like why, if Bob Marley didn't exist, we would all be wearing fucking t-shirts of this guy. You know what I mean? He had it all.
Yeah, and it might be kind of like a matter of timing sort of thing, you know, because like you say, such a major part of Bob Marley's image that really hit and did take with the public is that aspect of him that is basically like a religious leader, like a spiritual thought leader, right?
A protest singer, songwriter, you know, like a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, like we were saying in the last episode.
He's so Che Guevara adjacent, right? But that came because, you know, when they did that, which was around what, like 70, it really started in 73 into 74, but Bob Marley's popularity really started blowing up like in the mid 70s, right? Like around 74, 75. And that's when the prevalence of Rasta in the music in Jamaica really started taking over. Jimmy Cliff was the number one man in reggae before Bob Marley became the number one figure in reggae, and it's during this time from 69 to 72, from 69 to 72, and this is before Rasta was really a prevalent thing, or really like at all really showing up in music that was being recorded in Jamaica.
I think people have this misconception of, and okay, you're already hitting on another reason why I picked this, which is that this is by far and away the most secular, non-Rastafarian influenced album that we have chosen for the show, for either Reggae Summer.
First Reggae Summer was, I mean, just
heavily
wall to wall Rasta, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is how it should be.
Look up what we did.
Which is how it should be, because like, you know, if you're talking reggae music, like,
all of them were holy shit.
Yeah,
we did Exodus, Night Nurse, 2/7's Clash, Firehouse Rock, Heart of the Congos, and 96 Degrees in the Shade.
Yeah, we were essentially trying to convert people last summer. We were on a mission,
and we led off this year with fucking Peter Tosh. Yeah.
But even that, as heavily Rasta as it is, like the primary message of that album is like, you know, weed legalization, right? It's like a slightly different, I guess it's not, they're hand in hand, but
just the cover and the title track. The rest of the album is
very Rasta.
Is your standard Rasta album, and there's more coming. Several of the albums that we're going to talk about for the rest of this summer are also. But that's what makes this one unique.
Yeah,
this is the one that does not even have a breath of a moment of a dreadlock anywhere in sight on this entire album.
Yeah, this is afros, bell bottoms. It's think of it's Jamaican Sly Stone. That's like much closer in line of like what this is. On some of it, you know, some of it is super Jamaican. It's just not Rasta. And I think that there's a misconception when people think of reggae music. They think it's all dreadlocks and Rasta
No.
and the chalice and the herb and all that stuff. Like you said, that really was more of that was always there in Jamaica, but as like a phenomenon that represented itself in the music, like
That showed up in the recordings, in the music. Exactly.
Yeah, that is more of a 70s thing and onward. Whereas, man,
and mid to late 70s.
right. But man, the Jamaican recording industry prior to that, like I think that there was probably a lot of cheeky little mentions of it here and there in like a a Lee Perry type of way, like he would sort of thing, like a jokey kind of type of thing. But it was not like the central driving kind of theme around all the music up before Bob Marley. Like
that's right. And a lot of the musicians who were recording all of that earlier music, they were Rastas, but it wasn't showing up in the lyrics. It wasn't showing up in the music. Yeah.
Right. So this is kind of at the very tail end of that, right? It's so it's interesting. It's a different take on Jamaican music. It's a different slice of Jamaican music, and it's kind of more indicative of what Jamaican music was, what it really was prior to Bob Marley. In a lot of ways, it was kind of the culmination of like, okay, we've done the ska, we've done the rocksteady, we've done all this stuff. We've basically like mimicked like the American recording process and hit making process like as best we can, and now we've got a star, and now what do we do with him and how do we push him forward onto the big stage? And this was that attempt before. This was the first pass at Jamaica trying to launch a big international star. And it's like, I'm saying that in a way that makes it sound like he wasn't. Jimmy Cliff was a gigantic superstar all around the world for his entire career. He just, when you compare him to Bob Marley, it is small potatoes, by comparison.
Right. Because he didn't have that. He didn't have the same like staying power. Well, he didn't stay in the focus of the limelight for as long, right? So his career really had a peak in this 69 to 72 area. And although he never regained those heights again, he was, for the rest of his life, he actually passed away recently.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. 2025, he passed away.
But for the rest of his life, he still, was known and regarded as one of the most respectable and still producing music, a reggae artist that there is. But it's not in the same way that Bob Marley took and kept that spotlight. Right.
Yeah.
Jimmy sort of had his window, and really, essentially, I mean, pretty much all of the music that all of his albums, all of his music, except for a couple pop hits like for Disney movies.
Sure.
After The Harder They Come, after that movie in 72, I mean, none of it broke through,
dude,
in any way that even resembles what it was like during this period of time.
Yeah. Like if you look at his discography, even it's just Wikipedia is like very indicative of like what his fame was and what it wasn't, right? Somebody with the stature of a Jimmy Cliff, it's like every single one of his albums should have a blue link. And yet it's probably more than half of them kind of never reached escape velocity outside of Jamaica, and therefore probably never got repressed on CD. Definitely like look on Spotify or wherever, like never made it to Spotify. Like there's a couple, but it's really, really spotty. Like even me, someone who's like a huge fan of this record and Jimmy Cliff in general, like I didn't even know there was an album prior to this, right? And it's because it didn't make it outside the realm of the island, really. I don't think.
You're right, or Jimmy Cliff fans.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is probably one of the albums with the least amount of information about it.
Definitely.
That we've done so far on any of our episodes. And this is, The Harder They Come is his most famous album, but that's a soundtrack album and a
Yeah.
compilation.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most famous album of probably the second most famous reggae artist that there is.
Mm-hmm.
And there is almost no information.
It is thin.
About how, where it was made and who made it.
Yep.
I tried so hard to find the names of the musicians who played on this. I couldn't find anything conclusive. You can only get things together through context, which we will talk about. We will go into. We're almost certain of who some of them were. But normally, the info is out there. You can just fucking find who played guitar. Where was it recorded? Where was it mixed? Who mixed it? You can find that info. Not with this.
Yeah, which is it's astounding. You're right, because he is, and he was, and still is a massive superstar and one of the most important figures to the island of Jamaica. He is like a cultural figure to that. Like, I mean, they gave him what was it? It was like some kind of like merit of some kind of government award that only Jamaica's Order of Merit when he died, which is Jamaica's highest honor, right? That's like the highest civilian honor you could get as a Jamaican citizen. He's the only other reggae musician to ever be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, other than Bob Marley.
There you go.
So it's like the dude is massively important, and it just goes to show, like, again, kind of how important I think it is that we're shining a light on some of this music and this time period and these artists and this island, because it's like this kind of shit could easily just become like lost media. Like some of his other albums are already they're not on Wikipedia, they're not on Spotify, they're not on fucking CD. Like it's like, dude, this is one of the guys. Like we I don't know. It blows my mind to think about it.
Jiminy Cliff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like what you brought up earlier about how much Rasta is conflated together with reggae, right? The most people who come from where we come from just sort of assume that they're one and the same. But it's funny because this style of music that's being played here, which has nothing to do with Rasta, which is before that became in vogue, this style actually is what you would call reggae.
Yes, you're so right.
This is when you say the word reggae, with no adjective.
Yes.
When you just say the word reggae, this is what you're talking about.
This is reggae. This is okay. There was ska, there was rocksteady, there was reggae, there was roots reggae.
Yeah, right. After that point, there then became more other things, other styles.
There was dub, then there was dancehall, then there was this and there's that. Yeah. But there was a period of time, which is a period of time that I love, probably, 68, 69 is when it was probably started, to early 70s, where it is reggae. It is not roots reggae yet, which got even slower, got even dubbier, got even more philosophical, religious, all
religious
those things.
Is the main thing.
Yeah, all those things. Yeah. But this is when reggae was, it was like a musical style, like adjacent to like funk or soul or R&B or something like that. It was just like another one, right? And it didn't necessarily have any of the other baggage, social baggage attached to it.
Exactly. It was dance music, and all of it was. So the if you're starting the lineage with ska, right? So the quick and dirty version is ska was, and we talked about this in one of our Reggae Summer episodes last year. I can't remember which, but the Jamaican music industry is unique compared to the American one in that there's basically only one style being made by everybody
At
at
the
any
same
given
time.
time. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not hip hop and punk and country
Right.
and metal all happening. No,
Yeah.
no. Everybody in the whole country is making a single style. And as it evolves, everybody changes what they're playing. At least during this time. It's not that way anymore. That now in Jamaica, it's like it is in America. There's
like
a
it is
bunch of different
everywhere.
styles.
Yeah.
It's like how it is everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
But during this time, no. It's only one and only thing. So 62, about 62, 63, that is when they start playing ska. Ska is all about the dance, the party, the celebration. Hey, baby now, hey now. Would you
Think
come
of it
to
like-
the dance with me?
Yeah, like 50s
Right?
rock and roll, like Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
It's not does not say it sounds
Yeah.
like that, but it's like it's that kind of vibe, like
Yeah.
Bill Haley and the Comets and like shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's sort of interesting is there's actually more like religious and social conscious lyrics that are sometimes found in ska than there is in some of these later styles. It's sort of interesting, but I think it's just because of its proximity to church music, like Christian church music. So then 68, the style changes to rock steady, which is a different style, but the lyrics are still about dating and dancing, and because these styles,
Pop music shit. It's pop music.
it's
shit.
all pop music, and these styles, they're named after dances.
Right.
Why is ska called ska? It's because there was a dance craze. It's a 60s dance craze, and it was called the ska, and you dance it. Then there was another 60s dance craze in 68, and it was called the rock steady. And we're going to do the rock steady, right?
There's
And
even a song called Do the Reggae.
that's what reggae is.
Yeah.
And 69 reggae came out, or late 68 and 69 reggae came out. It's named after a dance because someone manufactured it by making a song called Do the Reggae.
Yep.
There's also a song called Do the Rock Steady.
Right.
So, and there's also a song called Do the Ska.
Yep.
But what am I trying to say? Yeah, so from 69 to 72, there's this where
Which is kind of a long time.
3 years.
It
3
is,
years of
but
pop
like,
music.
I know,
Yeah.
but like, think how
Yeah.
short Rocksteady was. Rocksteady is like a year and a half, 2 years where people were really all playing Rocksteady. Like that always blows my mind
It's
because
such a short window of time.
it's short,
Yes.
such a short window of time for
Yes.
like a tiny window of time with a massively, I don't want to say outsized is the wrong word, but like a massive footprint for how short of a time period it was.
Prolific
Like,
as hell.
yeah.
Because I'm making the money sound with my fingers. I don't know if you can hear that in the mic. I'm doing the money thing. It's because it was a huge industry, man. If you want to make some money, like sell the dance hall to the teenagers. Sell the dance craze to those teens, man. They were just churning out, Duke Reed and Treasure Isle. They're just churning out songs.
Yes.
So,
Churning out songs, making the songs, and then making the sound systems and renting out the sound systems to the dance halls. It's like they were like a vertically integrated thing where
a conglomerate.
a conglomerate.
A
where
Zaibatsu.
they have the artists, they have the studio, they have the sound system equipment, they have the dance halls. It's like, so it was a fucking industry in the
machine.
truest
Yes,
sense of the
absolutely.
word. Yeah.
And so during this first period of time of reggae, these days, it's most often we call it by the term early reggae. But not only because of where we are in time now, to put it in contrast to later styles and things like roots reggae and all the stuff that comes now from the rest of the world, like Cali reggae and Jawaiian and Hawaiian reggae and everything, right? But what the style reggae with no adjectives is and was is this right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And during this time, it was lyrically predominantly about the same exact thing as ska and rocksteady, the dance. Hey girl, hey baby now, ooh boy, I want to date you, and let's dance and let's hoof the night away and shit, right?
Yeah.
Then, and this is where enter Jimmy Cliff. into this, right? Because how many of these songs on this album are about the dance?
None.
None of them.
Right. And I think what you're getting into, which I love, is that Jimmy Cliff took reggae and he elevated it. This is the first elevation up for the style of reggae. I don't want to say first, but this is a major elevation up.
Right. Yeah. There's a whole community of geniuses who pioneered all this stuff, and we'll do our best to give them each a time in the sun. But
given the songs that are on this album, this is a really big one that like kind of massively raised the bar, not just musically, but like consciously too. And that's another thing that's really interesting about this is all these, if you're getting into like what this album's about, this album actually is full of songs about suffering, and there are protest songs in it, but they're rooted in like a more, the way the lyrics are written, it's more rooted in the way that like an American artist might write about these types of things, about like being poor and suffering and like anti-war and things like that.
He's singing about okay, was Jamaica fighting in Vietnam?
That's true. That's true. No. Yeah.
He's singing about an American war.
He's singing about American war. It's very true. Yeah. So it is one of those massive moments where all of a sudden it's like people I think are realizing how much more this music can be and how much more it can mean. And so it is just as conscious rooted as like a Bob Marley album. It's just the source of its conscious identity is not Rastafarianism.
Exactly.
It is like it is kind of it is rooted in more of like what everyone else was singing about.
It's Jamaican.
It's Jamaican, exactly.
Right.
But it also
the dichotomy of what is Jamaican and what is Rasta often gets lost because the way that most people are exposed to that is by a Rasta person,
right,
singing about a Jamaican issue,
right,
through a Rasta lens. But most of the time, only part of what that artist is saying is Rasta specific, and a lot of it pertains to the wider population of Jamaica.
Right.
A small fraction of which is Rasta.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
And Jimmy is singing. He feels more of a whole with like just the general kind of like Woodstock generation of that time period, like of
69, man.
69, like anti-war, like suffering, like being growing up poor in the ghetto, like so many of these songs are like they're about like the personal strife and problems and ways to overcome hardship, and it's really beautiful. It's really like an inspiring album.
Incredible.
It's like a very powerful, uplifting album in a lot of ways. It's less like righteous and like fuck you than a lot of I think Rasta centric albums can be. Like you mentioned in the last episode, like a lot of Rasta albums are like indictment songs.
Yes.
This is less. It's not an indictment song. It's like a open your heart to people who are suffering.
This is the album. This is the music that brought that element into reggae.
Yes.
It wasn't Bob Marley who brought it in. Jimmy Cliff is widely credited as being the first artist to introduce the entire concept of singing about political consciousness and political protest in bringing that into reggae music, which now, sitting here in 2026, seems like a crazy thing to say because it feels like
a Bob Marley thing.
And it feels like those two things were born together. It feels like like reggae and protest. How can you separate them? I mean, even when you hear people like Lee Perry talk about it,
he talks about it in a way that like reggae is like intrinsically ghetto music, protest music, right? And I do think that he's right about that. But like when it was originally filtered through the industry, it's like, that might be true, but we're gonna make teeny bopper songs.
Exactly. See, that's the thing is, this music was always the spirit of it was always that. It was always sufferer's music
Yes.
in spirit because of the soil that it grew out of,
Yes.
the people who were making it. But Jimmy Cliff was the first one to actually overtly make that be in the lyrics. This is what the words are now about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like famously, like I just saw Bob Dylan this past weekend actually. And I've heard this quote attributed to him for a long time, but I think this is more of a like legend has it that Bob Dylan said this. I don't think there's any actual quote that Bob Dylan actually said this, but it has been repeated for decades that Bob Dylan said that Vietnam is the greatest protest song ever written. Which coming from someone like Bob fucking Dylan is like insane because he is the protest singer guy who's still alive. I mean, he's the guy.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, that's true. And it's interesting to me the ways in which like even like the wider kind of white rock world, the whiter world. Really embraced Jimmy Cliff as well. I mean, if you think about it, it's like Bob Dylan may or may not have said that about him. We just before we started recording, me and Brandon were listening to a Paul Simon tune off of his like what is it, the 71 or 72 album? I forget what the song's called.
It's called Mother and Child Reunion. Mother and Child Reunion.
So go check that song out if you're listening to this episode. That song is the product of Paul Simon hearing Jimmy Cliff's Vietnam and telling his management, I want to record in that studio in Kingston. I want to record with that band, and I want to record with the exact engineering staff that worked on Vietnam. And then later in, I think with all the Disney stuff, it's like, he worked a little bit alongside like Elton John for like Hakuna Matata and like all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and fucking Cool Runnings, man.
Cool Runnings, yeah.
What's the name of the song? I Can See Clearly Now.
Yeah, we should talk. We should talk about like if you, the listener, are not immediately familiar with Jimmy Cliff. Let me just tell you that you actually are, because you've heard I Can See Clearly Now. You've heard that. That is Jimmy Cliff. He did like a version of Hakuna Matata. I don't think he did the one that's like in the movie, but like there's a Jimmy Cliff version of Hakuna Matata that came out as well.
I mean, the original I Can See Clearly Now is Johnny Nash, though.
Right, exactly. But I'm talking the Jimmy Cliff cover.
The Jimmy Cliff cover. Yeah.
Really famous. That's probably how you know him. And then if you don't know him from that, you might know him from the movie The Harder They Come, which is such a fucking dope movie, which I actually rewatched today for the first time in a really long time, which is kind of like a loose, to me, my take on it was like it's kind of a loose reimagining of the Jimmy Cliff story itself. Like it's like this kind of rough little rude boy kid kind of hanging around the studio and saying like, what little tasks can I do to get into the room? And I've got a song, and can I record the song? And all that is kind of stuff that really happened to Jimmy Cliff. That is like really how he kind of got his start. But The Harder They Come, the movie, takes it a step further, and it turns him into like this outlaw character where he kind of robs and steals and murders his way to the top of the reggae recording industry, and then ultimately,
which, as far as we know, he didn't actually do.
No, he didn't.
I don't believe he actually shot a bunch of police with matching pistols.
No, I doubt he did any of that shit. Yeah. But it's especially if you know anything about Jimmy Cliff or read anything about him, or especially like listen to him speak, it's just like that's unimaginable to me that he could be that person that's in that movie,
dude. So I watched the movie for this episode.
Yeah, me too.
I'd never seen it before.
Wow.
This was one of those like I've never seen The Godfather type things for me. Is that being who I am, I've never seen The Harder They Come.
Yeah.
So I finally watched it. It's amazing. Really liked it.
Really good.
But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be what it is because it's basically Scarface.
It's Scarface. You're
It's
right.
fucking Scarface.
It's fucking Scarface. You're totally right.
You know? And like you say, it's so trippy to see of all people who are gonna play just like this like psychotic,
Ruthless.
murderous, ruthless like villain. You know, it's one of those, you know, Scarface type
rags to riches.
Yeah, like a Wolf of Wall Street type movie where the main character is the villain.
Yes,
the main character is a terrible, terrible person. And
dude, the scene where he slashes the guy's face over and over and over again, and then it keeps showing Jimmy Cliff's close up, and then back to the guy's face. It's fucking. I forgot about that shit.
It's gnarly.
It's gnarly. Like, but it's nothing like I don't get the vibe.
And he shoots the defenseless woman, dude. It's crazy. And so, of all people to play this character, Jimmy Cliff would have been the last person that I would expect because he's so outwardly soft and gentle and kind and
his music is so gregarious and like about like helping people and uplifting people, and it's not about like rob, steal, and cheat your way to the fucking top. It's definitely not that. It feels more like first off, I should say I think Jimmy Cliff did an amazing job in the movie, just as an actor and as someone who just so fluidly just like moves throughout every single sequence. You know, in Kingston and in Jamaica and all these like famous locales and all these, you know, interacting with all these famous musicians and producers and stuff. You know, he is perfect for it, but it's just. Yeah, when you think about who he is, it's a little off-putting. It's weird.
It reminds me of that thing. Who's it? Like Ian McKellen did on in that one show where he's talking about acting. He's like, yes. You see, well, the way that I accomplished that by appearing to be a person that I, in fact, in real life am not, is by the method of acting.
Yeah. So Harder They Come, amazing movie, and probably an even more amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like that is the
song
real
itself. The song itself. So this movie came out in '72, a few years after this album that we're talking about, and you know, it's the 1-2 punch, and this is really interesting because this movie really was the first major export of reggae music to the world, right?
Yeah.
The explosion of Bob Marley as we know it now had not happened yet.
Right.
In fact, that first album. Well, it's not Bob's first album, but which Catch a Fire, which is really like the beginnings of his international takeover was the year after this movie, after The Harder They Come.
Yeah.
Right. And the movie was a big friggin' hit. And like, and it's trippy to picture, like, to imagine what it must have been like to see it. Right.
Yeah.
To be sitting in California or anywhere else in the world,
probably New York.
But reggae is not a thing. You know, I haven't heard of it yet. I'm not into it yet. It's not around. And then you see this movie.
Can you imagine someone in '72 just trying to understand the patois for the first time,
dude?
Like it is, because it is thick in this movie.
It's very thick.
Like they don't hide it at all.
Like there are some. Like whatever shots and cinematography in this movie, you know, God bless it. It's a humble masterpiece.
It is, yeah.
There's some stuff where it's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But that shot of him singing in the studio.
Yes, dude.
That first major long shot of him just with the cigarette in his hand singing. That is fucking cinema right there, man.
Is he doing Many Rivers to Cross in that scene? I can't even remember which song he's doing.
Singing The Harder They Come.
The Harder They Come, yeah.
And it's trippy too because it appears to be that shot is him actually tracking the real actual take that is in the finished song.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, and the irony of it is it's this like Jimmy Cliff vehicle, right? That's what it is. It's a vehicle, much like this album was like a musical vehicle to try to launch him in like an international way. Like we're gonna appeal to like the soul audiences, the folk audiences, the protest audience, the rock audience, the Sly and the Family Stone audience, like funk. Like it's all still very reggae, but like they're casting a wide net to try to bootstrap this superstar that they know they have on their hands. And when that, I think, didn't quite, blow up, when this album didn't quite blow up like I think they probably wanted, it's like the movie, The Harder They Come, is another like very American or English way that you would do what? Try to launch your musical artist, right? Put them in a movie.
Put them in a movie, yeah, exactly.
Put them in a movie. Make Tommy, make A Hard Day's Night. Whatever. Like there's tons of these kinds of like musical
Labyrinth.
Sure. Although that was that's different because that's different because it's like he was just these.
In his case, it would be what the man was it called, The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like it's like take this burgeoning star and see like if we put him in a different medium, can it blow him up, kind of thing,
and in hindsight, it seems like maybe the reason why Bob hit and Jimmy didn't is because Bob came with some aspect to his persona that was novel to the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do we need a pop artist who sings pop songs in America? Are we lacking that?
Right.
No,
right.
we have 9 bazillion of them.
Exactly.
Right. However, what that mystical, religious, philosophical aspect that Bob brought, we did not have one of those. Nobody had one of those, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
whereas Jimmy Cliff, he's there. And this is kind of, I blame the Chris Blackwells and the management, the people that kind of manage what he was doing, and maybe to a lesser extent him. It's hard to say. Like maybe this is what he wanted. He wanted to do these kind of more.
Well, he's clearly, and we can talk about this more in our next section when we're talking about the production and what's on the album itself. But I feel it's very evident that Jimmy himself was very interested in American music and American songwriting and American artistry, right?
Which I think what you're getting at is great, and it made for amazing music, but the lack of novelty there was almost is a misstep, actually.
Exactly.
Because it's like, why do we already have this in America with American musicians and English musicians? Why do we need a Jamaican one if he's just going to imitate what we already do?
If he's just going to do the exact same thing.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think also that's the reason why the movie was such a bigger hit than this album, because when you get the movie, there is something that's novel in it because you get to see Jamaica. You get to see the island and the people, and you get to see Kingston, and that is some of that that flavor and something new that Bob would later take with him as an export. Yeah. But Bob got to actually capitalize on it because thanks to Jimmy Cliff and thanks to this movie, the world is already primed to get deeper into that world because Jimmy did the work of introducing them to it.
Totally agree with you. Yeah, the irony of The Harder They Come is despite clearly being a Jimmy Cliff star vehicle, that's what it's for, is to launch Jimmy Cliff into the stratosphere of superstardom, right? It is a compilation album. It is the album itself is by far his most famous album, and yet how many Jimmy Cliff songs are actually on it? There's like 3.
Yeah,
3 or 4.
Right. I mean, it's a soundtrack album.
It's a soundtrack album, but it is.
But I guess if it's supposed to be featuring a single singer, even a regular American soundtrack album would have more songs by the guy. Yeah.
So there's actually, I'm giving you discredit. There's actually 6 of the 12 original tracks are Jimmy Cliff songs. So it's half Jimmy Cliff music, but then the other half of it is Rivers of Babylon, like the Melodians, the Toots and the Maytals is on it, Desmond Decker is on it. So it's like these other kind of other artists that are also reggae artists from this
Yeah.
exact same time period. Like the initial wave of like real original reggae coming out of like right out of Rocksteady and
Yeah.
ska. It's all that kind of stuff. And I will say, dude, the Harder They Come soundtrack is the first album I ever bought on vinyl. I sold my entire CD collection back to Boo Boo Records in San Luis Obispo.
Really?
I spent a decade almost buying CDs from that store.
Yeah.
And then when I realized that...
shout out Boo Boo Records.
Yeah, shout out Boo Boo Records. Holy shit, I've given you all of my salary. All of my lunch money when I was a small child. But yeah, I sold them back all my CD collection and then used that money to bootstrap my first reggae purchases. I bought Harder They Come. I bought Heart of the Congos. I bought 2/7's Clash. I just bought a bunch of reggae with it. That's all I did.
Smart guy. Smart kid.
Harder They Come, Jimmy Cliff, still the first album I ever bought on vinyl, and it is so good. Like, it is probably, people always talk, we kind of have alluded to, we've shit on Bob Marley's Legend a couple times on the show the last couple weeks. Not shitting on it because it's clearly amazing.
It's just, right, just being humorous about it because it's the juggernaut.
It's the juggernaut. It's clearly amazing, and like, it is the probably definitive way to like show anyone reggae music, I guess, or Bob Marley's music is really what it's for. But like, dude, the Harder They Come, if you want to introduce someone to what like Jamaican music is for the very first time, the Harder They Come is such an amazing like, it'll catch you right up to speed. Like, I promise, as soon as you hear Rivers of Babylon. If you're not in, then get off the train now, because like that's like some of the best shit there is.
History in there too. It's got earlier stuff in there. I mean, it's got Desmond Decker.
Exactly.
Desmond Decker was the #1 before Jimmy Cliff. You know? Production. All right. Yeah, we got buttons to hit here. So, did we mention the name Leslie Kong already?
We have not. We have not mentioned Leslie Kong yet.
So this album's produced by the great Leslie Kong. I think maybe the only time that we've ever mentioned Leslie Kong before was one of the albums that we did last year.
Yeah,
we did like a short little feature on the contributions of the Chinese Jamaicans.
Yes.
Major players.
I think Wailing Souls is the one we talk about him.
Right.
Briefly.
Yes. Yeah. Because we were talking about Channel 1.
Exactly.
So. So Leslie Kong is one of the biggest figures of those people, and so it's kind of cool because Leslie Kong was sort of like the mentor and the benefactor of Jimmy Cliff, right? So Jimmy Cliff, just like so many of the great singers like Bob Marley, like Peter Tosh, and like many others, they were actually in the mix in the Jamaican recording industry long before their period of superstardom. So, like in the early, even before ska happened, all those people that I mentioned were already involved in singing and recording. So way back in '62, Jimmy Cliff links up with Leslie Kong. Jimmy Cliff is a teenager at this time. Jimmy recorded for Leslie. Leslie made him popular. And then...
Yeah, I had read that Leslie Kong had an ice cream parlor called Beverly's. And Jimmy Cliff, as a young teen, would hang outside of Beverly's. And, Jimmy Cliff knowing that Leslie Kong was in the music industry and the recording industry, Jimmy Cliff would write little songs about the ice cream parlor to try to get Leslie Kong's attention.
Yeah, this is a very Brian Wallace approach, by the way. Yeah. Totally something he would do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So to try to get the attention of Leslie Kong so that Leslie would bring him in and then record his ice cream parlor song, which is actually, I believe, what happened. That's literally what happened.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Also, another thing I love about Leslie Kong is it reminds me a lot of the Who Kim brothers, who we talked about in the our Wailing Souls Channel 1 episode from last year, which is that like there's like this there's a trend where these proprietors of local businesses, Leslie Kong, the Who Kim brothers, had what? They had like an arcade or something like that, if I'm remembering right. It's like they have these.
It might have been an ice cream parlor also, like
or a laundromat.
Yeah, like a lot of these were ice cream spots.
Yes. But it's like these guys, they start these kind of feeder businesses that are basically fronts for their reggae operations, for their reggae smuggling.
Yeah, because they get into the reggae recording industry second, right?
Right.
They're businessmen. They don't know anything about music. They own a business. They have a building that they're either renting or that they own. Mm-hmm. They're operating. And like we said before, this shit was lucrative. Like, people were obsessed with these records. Got to have them. Got to have this music. So they're just smart and built a recording studio.
Right.
Hired musicians.
Yeah. It was, they used their laundromat, restaurant, ice cream parlor, whatever business as like the funding source to sign artists and build a recording studio and buy gear and do all this stuff, and then learn that shit like as they went, for the most part.
So this album is kind of cool because this album represents a reunion between Jimmy Cliff and Leslie Kong, because Jimmy's recorded for how long? For a period of maybe like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So going from when he's a teenager, now he's into his 20s, working only with Leslie Kong. And then once Jimmy got bigger, got a little bit of clout, went to work with Chris Blackwell, who we talked about in the last episode, Chris Whitehurst.
Who is the Darth Vader of this season? You'll see. He's going to come up again. He is the Emperor Palpatine.
We're not done talking about it. But recorded his very first album with Chris Blackwell, like full album, right? He everything that he did with Leslie up until this point was like singles. That didn't work out. Crash and burn. Jimmy went off to Brazil for a while. Didn't have a great time. So this 69, this is when Jimmy came back home to Jamaica, reunited with Leslie. It's like, all right, let's do it again. And this is the album that they made.
Yeah, and Leslie, we should also mention, just litany of ridiculous credits to his name.
Busted out.
Israelites. From Desmond Decker, 007 Shantytown, the song that's on The Harder They Come, that is really good. So Desmond Decker, who like you mentioned, was like the guy before Jimmy Cliff, who was the guy before Bob Marley. Like he was
literally the year before. This is 69 when Jimmy Cliff became the man. Desmond Decker was the man in 68.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Toots and the Maytals, 54-46.
Leslie you ever Kong. Heard that song?
John Holt and Stranger Cole as well. I mean, he worked with Trojan Records, just all kinds of shit. Like the dude was just like one of the hit makers. He was one of the fucking super important guys of the 60s period.
Yeah, he's one of the original investors and part owners of Trojan Records.
Yeah. And we just figured out too, we were like half convinced he wasn't in The Harder They Come, but he is. He is, according to Wikipedia, actually in it. And I believe I saw it today when I was watching it. I was like, that's got to be Leslie Kong. And then
I got so confused. I thought that it was. I got so confused because, they in the recording studio parts of the movie, there's the the engineer, the dude who's actually got his hands on the faders and everything. I got confused, and it said that the engineer was someone named, was it Carlton Lee?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I don't know who that is, but nope.
Yeah.
Leslie Kong.
Yeah, but really amazing producer who's just like another guy who it's like, he died really, really young in 1971. So prior to The Harder They Come coming out, which is really crazy too.
It's real sad, man. Died at the age of 37.
37. Okay, and I told you I wanted to bring up my favorite little tidbit about his death, which is
Your favorite
my
tidbit
favorite little tidbit about
his
Kong's
death.
So
Okay.
I'll just read from Wikipedia. Kong's plans to release a compilation album of tracks from the singles he produced by the Wailers led Bunny Wailer allegedly threatening Kong with a curse, telling him that if he issued the record, he would die. Kong went ahead with the release in 1970 and died of a heart attack aged 37 in August 1971. End of Wikipedia.
What? Dude.
So Bunny Wailer being
Holy
real spooky.
Don't fuck with Bunny Wailer. How come more people don't know that about Bunny Wailer, that he murdered
killed
Leslie
Leslie
Kong with a curse?
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah. Really.
No, seriously. Heart attack at 37.
Come on. 37, a heart attack?
Curse.
Curse,
Holy
dude.
crap, dude.
Absolutely a curse.
I've never heard that. That's amazing.
That's insane. Don't fuck with Bunny Wailer.
Don't
It's funny
fuck
how
with Bunny Wailer.
the deeper into the Wailers you get, the deeper you go into the Wailers like members, the scarier they kind of get.
Right, we started with Bob, then
Yeah.
we went to Peter, who's definitely scarier.
Who's definitely scarier.
Yeah, we're saving Bunny for last.
Bunny Wailer,
whose
who is,
album is called Black Heart Man.
yeah, which is a murky, spooky album.
Spook as hell. Yes.
So yeah, we should talk about. We should go into more the production on
Talk
the album.
about the music.
Talk about
Yeah,
the
dude.
music and
All right.
production itself.
There is next to no information out there on this goddamn internet about this. Yeah. So my very first impression of this is that this would appear to be an album that was a part of a particular kind of pipeline of production. And like last year when we were talking about the Wailing Souls, we talked about how there was this era of like a pipeline of production. You track it at channel 1, it goes over to Tubby's for mixing and blah, da, 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 right? And like a shitload of albums get funneled through this process. Now, during this early reggae, in quotes, period of time, there was a particular production pipeline where the album was tracked in Jamaica, then sent to England, and over there in London, they would overdub the crap out of it.
Right.
And that's where you get all these string sections, you get these horns, you get these, really very happy and bright sounding ladies singing harmony parts, you know, background parts.
All that stuff being like English and New York.
It's English as hell.
Yeah.
And you listen to the way that the album is mixed, the stereo field, meaning the distance of where things are panned left to right on this album and many like it.
Yeah.
So this leads me to believe that this was not just simply recorded and mixed and done at Dynamic Sounds in Kingston.
Yeah.
This leads me to believe that this is one of those albums, and especially also that it was released on the Trojan label, which had its financial headquarters in London. And a lot of its productions happened fully in London, I believe. So I have not found anything to corroborate what I'm saying, but I believe that this is a across the pond production.
Yeah, it's either UK or New York is kind of what I gathered as well.
Okay.
And like for instance, Larry Fallon, the string arranger on this, who amazing credits on this guy's resume.
What's his name? Larry Fallon?
Larry Fallon.
Larry
So
Fallon.
he's the
Okay.
guy that did all the string arrangements, which apparently were done. So they flew the tapes to New York, which is where he recorded
there you
all the
go.
string stuff.
An American composer, arranger. Where did you find this shit? How come I can't find this?
It was on the Wikipedia page, dog.
You fucking. All right.
But he did Van Morrison's Astral Weeks, which is just an absolutely impeccably gorgeously recorded
Get out of town.
string album. Nico's Chelsea Girl, which also has gorgeous strings on it. Then his third one is Jimmy Cliff. He also did Gimme Shelter, Gil Scott Heron. I mean, the dude is like,
girl.
super sexy string man.
Okay.
But his
So these are New York strings, not London strings.
yeah, but I do believe that there was London tomfoolery as well with a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting because he represents something that I kind of love on this album, despite it being so messy, which is the aspect of this album where it is like they are literally just like throwing paint against the wall. They're just throwing shit at the wall and trying to see like what sticks. Like the fact that the first song on this album, Time Will Tell.
Time will tell.
Which is like a classic skinhead style in the vein of like Agrolites, reggae song, but it also has strings on it. And it also has these big soul kind of backup vocals on it. It's like the production on this album is kind of all over the place and scatterbrained. But I kind of love it. Like it kind of works for me at the same time.
So we're definitely going to need to explain what you mean by skinhead.
That's true. Let's pause. Let's pause and explain that one rapidly.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big topic. If you don't know what it is, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's a big old topic. We're not going to go fully into it and explain every corner of it.
No, but we should explain the guitar skank, which is the primary.
Yeah. So here's the short version is what most Americans and a lot of people would know as being a skinhead, which is a white supremacist thing.
Not the same thing as this.
Yeah. you know that way of how they sort of like dress and their style and like the kind of the shoes and the pants.
Yeah.
And
the Doc Martens.
Yeah. And the way that they wear their like, what are those called?
Suspenders
and
white
and
tank top, white tank top,
and the fact that they shave their head.
Yeah, white tank top, shave your head, some dark sunglasses, suspenders, black pants, Doc Martens, skinhead.
That was a style.
Scary in America, different thing in Jamaica, very different thing. Yeah, Ascarica.
United States of Asatica. That was a style of dress. That was like a subculture with the name skinhead because of the baldness, because of the shaved headness. That was later appropriated by white supremacists. Okay?
Exactly.
And so it was already called that.
Yeah.
And this particular style of reggae music, which what was the name of that particular style? It was called reggae.
Yeah.
Was super popular amongst this subculture called skinhead. And what you do with a guitar in skinhead reggae is you go that little strum pattern. In ska you go in rock steady, you go like that. So this early reggae thing, and you can hear that in like 9 of the songs on this album. Right?
Yeah.
So that has its roots in yet another style of music that's called mento, which even predates ska. It predates Jamaica's independence as a nation, in which the guitar is strummed like that, and so that kind of found its way in there.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's amazing how that was one of my big takeaways listening to this was how much Agrolites, how much Jimmy Cliff DNA
yeah.
is in the Agrolites. Like,
Yeah, we people from California, we people of our generation, we really associate that with the Agrolites because
yes,
the Agrolites one of the greatest Jamaican music style bands to ever come out of Los Angeles.
yeah.
Basically built their whole freaking career on that guitar pattern.
Basically, like the Agrolites are to skinhead reggae what the Specials were to ska. That's kind of how I think of the Agrolites.
Wow.
That's how I've lately been putting them into context. Is like in the same way that the Specials took kind of a niche, like Jamaican style, at least niche for the time, and updated it and represented it and repackaged it, and that became two-tone, right? The Agrolites sort of did a very similar thing with this skinhead reggae style that you hear on this Jimmy Cliff album.
And turned it into dirty reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And all of that goodness pretty much single-handedly taken care of by a man named Brian Dixon.
That's true. Yeah. It's a little more
just changed my young life watching that guy play that guitar like
same.
that. Holy cow.
Same.
Yeah,
it's a little more different. It's like they take that skinhead style and it's more aggressive. It's more aggressive.
Oh my God, is that what?
No, yeah. But kind of a similar thing.
Yeah. So okay, so now maybe you found more information than I did because the other bits of information that I wanted to find out beyond where was this recorded. So we've settled that, right?
Yeah.
Dynamic sounds in Kingston, and then
string overdubs somewhere in New York.
Somewhere in New York. Okay.
Yeah, and probably other overdubs as well in UK, it sounds like. But
maybe mixed there as well.
Yeah. It's
and
honestly
clearly mixed by a non-Jamaican mix engineer, I would say.
Big time, yeah.
Right? Because
it sounds so much like it sounds like Sly and Family Stone. Like that's
It's mixed like a British or an American record. I mean, listen to the beginning of Many Rivers to Cross.
Yep.
The organ is all the way over there on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this is a great mixing thing right here. Like for all of you budding mix engineers out there, this is like the song Many Rivers to Cross is a great example of the mix really serving to elevate the music because the organ is all the way in the right ear, and then as soon as you get that great, amazing first notes coming from Jimmy Cliff's performance is in your left ear.
Right.
And just the contrast of that.
Yeah.
Heightens the effect of his entrance.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, and you kind of get this the ghost of his verb kind of throughout the track.
Exactly.
It's just really like it's very ear candy. Like it's like you have this thing that is tickling you in one ear and then you have Jimmy Cliff singing in your other. It's pretty magical.
There were no records being mixed in that fashion in Jamaica with that style in Jamaica. Like to the point where I do feel comfortable like just inferring just based on that. It wasn't mixed by a Jamaican engineer in Jamaica.
Totally agree with you. This
Even
doesn't
though I don't
sound
know that for sure.
Other than the way that it's played, it really doesn't have a lot of the hallmarks of like, Jamaican recordings that you would be used to. Like it sounds more like modern and like up to date than like some of the other albums that were tracked later that we've done on this show from tracked in Kingston.
And that quality is a big part of this, of a lot of these records from this period, the Trojan records, the label from this period that had that production pipeline, because the finishing of the project was done in London or in New York or elsewhere. The finished product more resembles what we're accustomed to hearing. A lot of the Jamaican records that were mixed and finished all the every stage of production happening in Jamaica. I think that they're a lot of times described as or perceived racistly as being like of poorer quality.
Sure.
But when really it's just they were made by the sensibilities of those people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I do.
Decision making happened differently on that island. And we grew up hearing music that was mixed like this.
Sure.
So when we hear something that is mixed like this, it feels like we're listening to something way more modern from a different point in time. When we're not. It's just it was mixed by somebody from our culture.
Yeah, and to be honest, the mixed decisions on this, despite maybe sounding quote unquote more modern or whatever, it's kind of annoying. Like some of those hard panning type deals like that you're talking about.
Right.
A lot of that shit I really
like
don't
the Jamaican style better.
It's way better. Yeah, I think it's like if you're making dance music, which is what this basically is, like for 90% of this album is.
Yeah.
That
totally.
kind of mixing style, honestly, it's never worked for me. Not I don't want to say never. Sometimes it's kind of cool. There's some Beatles stuff that's kind of cool like that, but like for the most part, it's a really weird way to mix a song, and it's not in vogue. It hasn't been in vogue since the 60s for a reason. It's like a goofy gimmick, dorky thing to do.
Right. And it's because, I mean, what? Because stereophonic, like having a home sound system
Right.
that could play two channels of audio at the same time was such a novel thing. So it was trippy as fuck to make it sound like the drummer is on the right side of my living room and the singer is on the left side of my living room.
Right.
Wow.
Which just happens to be like an awful way to mix a song.
Whereas these days it is AirPods is the current equivalent of that. So you will find that most music right now is mixed to suit these. So later on, when people are listening to music that was made in 2026 on their direct brain feeds, it's going to sound really weird.
Yeah.
Because it was mixed for AirPods, not for direct brain feeds.
And even when when you listen to mixes like that on a stereo, if you have your stereo set up normally and you're sitting back from your speakers, even if the drums are way over here and everything else is way over here, like whatever, some gimmicky mix thing. Yeah. If you're sitting in the middle and you just kind of listen to the song, it will filter into your head in a way that like you can kind of tune that out and it sounds fine, right? But listening in headphones,
it's in headphones is when it's really
egregious.
Yeah,
it's
really
because
when you're
jarring.
listening to it on a hi-fi system or a stereo in a room, not only are both speakers in front of you, and even if they're not, you've got the reverberation of the room to blend. You can, whatever's coming out of the left speaker, you can hear it in your left and your right ear.
Right, exactly.
And vice versa. Yeah. But when you're wearing headphones, if it comes only out of the left, you only hear it in your left ear. Yeah. It's very disorienting.
It's really jarring. Do we want to talk at all about the Beverly's All-Stars? You kind of you kind of mentioned it because like I'm not super familiar with this band. They were Leslie Kong's kind of house band, kind of like think of them as what, like Roots Radix or Upsetters or something like that, like the house band of Leslie Kong's productions. I'm not really super familiar with this band, but you kind of mentioned we could maybe possibly loosely infer some of the players, maybe, like, even though I think that's actually impossible at this point given the lack of info we have.
I feel very confident that even though I couldn't find it actually saying anywhere that the backing band is Beverly's All Stars. I feel 99% positive that it is.
Yeah.
Just because of what they sound like and because it was a Leslie Kong production in 1969. So that means that it's most likely that Paul Douglas is playing drums.
Okay.
Paul Douglas is, and Jackie Jackson is most likely playing bass. And those two guys, Paul Douglas and Jackie Jackson, would end up being basically like Toots Hibbert's, Toots and the Maytals, like dedicated drums and bass for a long time. And we talked about them last year. I can't remember what it was. Something about how Paul Douglas and Jackie Jackson were holding down a gig, and they went on tour with Toots, and that opened the door for some other guys to come in. I can't remember what it was.
Probably. It sounds like the Roots Radix stuff.
It probably is Roots Radix.
Yeah.
So, and then it's most likely Gladys Anderson and Winston Wright playing keys, so piano and organ. So the one of those guys that I really want to highlight in this discussion is this friggin' genius named Jackie Jackson.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite bass players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He is kind of known as the major bass player of the rocksteady era.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool because that is where we generally regard as being the start of what we would associate as reggae bass lines.
Sure.
Right? Because ska bass lines, a lot of the time were in the style of another bass player named Lloyd Brevet, which are kind of like walking, you know.
Yeah. Very kind of jazzy.
Walking based on a quarter note, mainly because he and other bass players were playing with a stand-up bass. Right? Then along came a dude named Byron Lee, another great Chinese Jamaican, who introduced the island to the concept of the electric bass. Ho, ho, ho.
Yes.
What would Jamaican music be without an electric bass, right? Then Jackie Jackson was the dude who was playing during this rocksteady era where the bass lines broke away from just walking and establishing just the downbeats and started to get really melodic. And the bass line sort of became the main sort of melody portion that's going to like carry your ear. Or that your ear is going to latch onto, which is something that I feel is one of the major hallmarks of all the Jamaican styles after that point.
Yes.
It's all about the bass line.
It is, yes.
It's bass music. You know?
It is.
So I think that makes him a pretty major dude. And one of the major things that parts of his style is he was big on arpeggiation. So, for example, the bass line from Hard Road to Travel, right?
Yeah. Literally just an arpeggio.
And if you don't know what arpeggio or arpeggiation means, it means that you're playing all of the notes that are in the chord, right? So that thing, if you go, if you play those all together,
it's a chord.
That's the chord. So all that arpeggiation is you take the chord and then you, in this case, the bass, I'm going to go down to the bass and I'm going to make my bass line just be.
This is dear listener,
this is melodic.
This is the style of bass line that allowed me to make so many black market dub albums prior to Brandon joining the band.
Right. Because, like, oh my God, I don't know what to play on the bass. Right. Trick number one, let me just arpeggiate.
Just arpeggiate.
Take those notes that are already in the chord and just play them. Just mess around with them and make something up.
Exactly.
So Jackie Jackson was the master of that. He was the man. And this is freaking highly influential because this dude is of an older generation than like Family Man and Flabba Holt and all of these other, and Robbie Shakespeare. And Jackie was already established as the man when they were kids.
Right.
You know? And he was highly influential on them. I mean, because what is Family Man's most famous bass line? Like, what is the most famous bass line in all of reggae? It's probably...
Yeah, that's true. And that's an arpeggiation.
It's arpeggiation.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of highlight
stir
Jackie.
Stirred up the Bob Marley tune.
Okay, yeah. If you didn't know it, stir it up
that.
By Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Family Man being the bass player.
Yeah, this is kind of another...
Jackie Jackson is the man is what I'm trying to say.
Another reason why I wanted to pick this too was the fact that there's little to no crossover of other characters, musician wise, on this album. From any of the other albums we've talked about, there's so much crossover on all the other records. Like, who was it that was on? Like, half the guys on Night Nurse are on like every album we've talked about.
Yes. I there may be an exception with like Winston Wright, and Gladys Anderson. I think. Let me look it up. I think that these keyboard players may have been on some of the other. No, not the football player, the reggae player. Dang it. We've talked about like 8 albums, and we've had like 2 drummers and 3 bass players so far. Right. So now we got Paul Douglas and Jackie Jackson. We got new blood in.
Yeah, and I do love it. I love the way these guys play, because like you mentioned, they just are from a different era. Like the style of playing of playing on this is so different, and it feels you can hear the rocksteady influence in particular on everything that they're doing on this. Like they sound like a rocksteady band that like went rock and roll or something, like,
right. Yeah, and it's generational. Like the generation of like the new guard of the backing musicians seem to sort of turn over about every like 6 years or so. On the island, at least in terms of who were the top dogs. You know, all these guys kept playing the entire time. But just like who was in vogue, who was the hot sound. Because you had the ska crew, right? The Scatolites and all the associated musicians there. And then there was this generation, which was making the rocksteady and the first version of what reggae is.
The in-between.
And that's what makes musicians like Family Man and Carlton Barrett and the musicians that are in the Roots Radix and Sly and Robbie. That's what makes them so cool. Is now they seem like very old, venerated dudes, but like in the context of this reggae at the time, that's what made them cool. Was they were the young up and coming hotshots that were taking over, standing on the shoulders of giants.
They were 15 years into this shit practically by the time they were, iterating on what all these guys were doing.
Standout Songs.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for leading us into that. I think you let me go first last time.
Okay.
Trying to pretend like you're not an evil person, but you are.
Oh
my
God.
So I since I actually am not an evil person, and it's true that I'm nice, I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. Good. Wow.
And I'm not pretending.
You have to work through this every episode. I'm glad you're getting.
I'm trying to make there be some I'm trying to make a thing. I'm trying to do a podcast. I'm trying to podcast right now. I'm trying to make this not a huge piece of shit that is actually worth listening to.
Now this is podcasting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna hit the button. Hitting the button.
Let's go.
First standout song.
So I have 2.
Okay.
My first one is Suffering in the Land. Love this fucking song.
So that is my standout song.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Suffering in the Land.
So
Suffering
in the Land, yeah. So this album is really tough because, like I said earlier, aside from maybe just a couple tunes, I would highlight maybe My Ancestors, That's the Way Life Goes, maybe those 2. Other than that, those 2 are kind of my not standouts. Like I don't really love those songs. Yeah, those are kind of my skippers. But other than that, this album is just bangers, like top to bottom. Like I said in the beginning, this is so close to being a Jimmy Cliff greatest hits album. Like it is very nearly every Jimmy Cliff song that you really need to know about. And I'm excluding, I Can See Clearly Now and whatever the later stuff. But like the real shit that you really need to know about when it comes to Jimmy Cliff, it is pretty much like all on here.
Yeah, there's an '80s track from him called "Journey." If you've never heard the song,
I don't think I've heard that one.
Girl.
Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, no, he came up with some, and it's sort of interesting too. Sorry, a little sidebar.
Sure.
It's sort of interesting too how this aspect of him doing an album that is partially songs that are just completely not a Jamaican style.
Yeah,
He carried that through like the rest of his career. And in
Yeah.
fact, a lot of his albums are almost no reggae on them at all.
yeah. Like there's one he did. I forget. I think it's the one that follows this one. I'm not positive on that, but it's like he went to Muscle Shoals in Alabama.
Yes.
And just recorded with those guys and just
Dude,
made
the
like
Mighty
a
Diamonds
fucking.
did the same thing.
That's crazy. I've never heard that.
I believe it's called Fire and Ice, I think.
Yeah.
It is bizarre, dude. I bought it probably at Boo Boo's, and I bought it. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, Mighty Diamonds album that I haven't heard yet.
And it's like
I go
swamp
home and
rock.
I put it on. Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck? And seriously,
Yeah.
but it's them. It's the three of them singing on top of it, and I'm like, I don't like this. This is not for
I'm
me.
very intrigued to hear that actually.
I
really want to hear that.
The album I'm thinking about is "The Power and the Glory" from '83.
Okay.
It's weird. Like there's even a song that's called "Reggae Night," and it's about having a reggae night, and let's all hang out and have fun and get together and listen to reggae. And it's like a rock song,
Right.
or like an R&B song or something. It's like what the fuck. But then the last track is just a fucking banger reggae song called "Journey." Check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Back
suffering
to Suffering in the Land.
Suffering in the Land. The opening. Die, 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 die. Fuck, dude. That whole opening thing, I just scream it in my car every time it comes on. It's so fun. It's so fun. And then also, not to set you up to fail here, but you have the guitar. I don't know if you can play this or not, but it's like the stick part in that song is so fucking tight.
I can approximate it.
Okay.
I don't know it exactly, but
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
It's really, really crazy. And the stick part, if you're not familiar, it's typically like kind of the adornment guitar. Oftentimes it's like the loose like lead guitar almost, but it also like usually doubles the bass part. Kind of floats in between like lead guitar and doubling the bass, like but it's like a palm muted kind of mid-rangey. Yeah.
Like for Vietnam.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of times it has like a little gallop like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very prominent on this album. But
Yeah.
it's called Stick or Shadow or Pick Guitar. It has many, many different names.
Yeah. But yeah, Suffering in the Land, amazing. A lot of times the style choices they make on this album can be a little weird, but I think they almost always work. And this song has some of the weirdest decisions. There's like tuba. There's like there's like flute in it. There's like a flute solo.
The Barry saxophone.
Yeah, is it Barry? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's a very
saxophone.
odd kind of usage of a baritone sax in a reggae context. It's horns. The way this album thinks of horns is not the way that 90% of reggae albums would think to use horns. They use it in like an orchestral way.
This is that New York shit.
It is the New York shit. Yeah. This is like Americans or even maybe British people. Adding these overdubs.
White people played this.
White people played this shit. It's still kind of cool, but it's not Jamaican at all. Like the flute interludes on this, like should not work. It should be so stupid, and I love it. It's fucking great. And it's just like it's one of those songs where the lyrics are so fucked up, like and sad.
My first note on this, since we're sharing this standout, my first note is happy music, sad lyrics.
Happy music, sad lyrics, dude.
Yeah,
kind of one of the best styles,
dude. Let me read this. It's plain to see we're in a terrible situation. Nearly half of the world on the verge of starvation. And the children are crying for more education.
It's brutal.
The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Everything's getting higher and the time's getting tougher. They're making guns and bombs to set the world on fire. If you just read these like without music, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like my brother in Christ. We need to sit, we need to sit, take a moment.
Kind of be like,
are you okay?
Brother Jimmy, I have some bad news about the rest of your life and the way the world goes.
That too.
By 2025, and when you shuffle off your mortal coil, it is not much better, my dog.
Yeah. Because, dude, I'm trained by years and decades of listening to early reggae to expect a bit of a snoozer song when I hear that intro.
Sure. Okay.
Right? Like, because of how many of these, England, Jamaica co-productions that I've heard that are just la, 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 la,
yeah.
la.
Yeah.
And just the rest of the song is just some corporate commercial cash grab to just try to cash in on the reggae craze. There are so many of those songs.
There is, yeah.
Out there that sound exactly like the intro to this song.
Yeah.
And so when the first time that I heard it, I don't know if I have ever heard this song before.
Really?
But before getting into, I don't know if I ever played this entire album front to back before.
God, this is one of my favorites.
All the Jimmy Cliff that I listened to was other stuff. It was
later stuff.
Later stuff and his live album.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck, incredible. But so when I heard this song, I was like, oh boy, okay, whatever.
Wow.
Skipper. But then
the
verses come. Then the verses come, and I'm like, this is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Get him, Jimmy.
Get him, Jimmy.
Fuck yeah, Jimmy.
We're in a terrible situation. We're in a terrible situation.
Terrible situation. The rich get rich and the poor get poorer.
Yeah.
Suffering in the land.
Yeah. Dude. Super just ghetto music anthem. This song
Ghetto
is.
anthem.
Yeah. Fuck. I love this song.
Dude.
It's tough. Like I was kind of alluding to earlier. This song, this album has so many good songs that it's like, it is one of those things where to me, the favorite and best, my favorite and best are kind of obvious ones, but it's like, they are the obvious
Mine
ones.
are obvious too. It's probably the same.
It's probably the same, yeah.
But I love Suffering in the Land because the sort of like emotional journey that I went on listening to it just so perfectly illustrates what we were talking about at the beginning of this conversation, which is that like Jimmy Cliff and his peak right here exists in this really fascinating window of time, which is where the lyrics of reggae have changed to become conscious because he did it, but the music hasn't changed yet.
Right.
So I hear the beginning and I'm expecting something else than what I get. So like the rest of the island hadn't caught up to him yet and started to, because very soon after this, the music starts sounding like the lyrics do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is still, hey mama, hey papa.
Yeah.
Yay. Let's dance, everybody. Do the reggae music.
Yeah, he kicked the fucking door down with this shit.
Yeah. No prep.
Yeah, dude.
No easing into it. Just, hey, guess what, everybody? I want to sing about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll say my other standout, I was going to pick Time Will Tell, but we kind of already talked about Time Will Tell a little bit. I do think Time Will Tell is amazing, but I think I want to pick my kind of runner-up stand-up, which is actually Come Into My Life.
Yeah, man. Dude, this is what I was going to pick for my second standout as well.
Yeah,
Come Into My Life.
Let's talk about
Come into my life.
I like this one because Jimmy Cliff, this is going to be hard for me to put into words. I've struggled with how I want to express this about him.
Well, I hope you can find a way, given that this is a podcast.
he has this very plain, earnest way of expressing himself that is so easy to understand. It is so easy. It is so universal, and I don't mean universal in like the Bob Marley way. I mean like universal, like honestly, kind of more than that.
It's way more accessible than
Way
Bob
more
Marley.
accessible than Bob Marley, I think.
Well, but Bob Marley is like universal and like eternal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
His message reaches you no matter what country you come from.
Right.
But
that's his message. It's like a Bob Marley specific thing.
Right.
Jimmy Cliff.
It's a message that's like the Bible. Like you got to study it. You got to get into it. Like you don't study Jimmy Cliff.
Jimmy Cliff is delivering a message that any human being on earth could deliver if they had the ability and the capacity and the empathy and the emotional fortitude and the talent, frankly, to do it, right? It's something, it's like he expresses things we all feel on this like fundamental level that are so kind of just basic to being a person, right? And moving through the world and operating in this life. Like, man, I'll never forget. Like, this is funny because this kind of ties into our back episode. If you listen to our back episode, I told the story about how like I was laying in the back of my car and I was listening to Sea Change. Sea Change kind of ended my time in California and launched me into this sadness into Boston. And when I got to Boston, I listened to this album. This was the album that like picked me back up after kind of that devastating kind of breakup and like, you know, moving on with my life and all that stuff. And it was perfect because that's kind of what so many of these songs are about, is about like picking yourself back up, getting back on the horse. Dude, we'll get there. We'll get there. But Come Into My Life being kind of a more minor addition to that thing that I love about this album, which is just like expressing love and the earnest desire to experience love and to experience just companionship. I just want to, like, you're out there and I want you in my life. Like I want to meet you. I know you're out there. Maybe I haven't met you yet, but like, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. Right. And it's just goddamn fucking beautiful. It makes me tear up when I listen to the song. I'm just like, and it weirdly, I do think it is one of the lesser songs on the record, but it is so strong. It's a really, really strong song.
Like when I said in the beginning, like how many of these songs on this album are about the dance?
Yeah, none.
Or being in the dance. None of. And this is the only one that is the next closest thing, which is a love song.
A love song, yeah. But it is such a deeper cut on what a love song is, right? It is a cut above, just like all the other material on this is, lyrically especially. Like it's a cut deeper than just your standard fucking I love you song. You know what I mean? Like it is expressing a very nuanced, niche feeling that I think every human being probably has felt and has struggled to even identify, let alone express. And he does that so effortlessly, man, on this album. And he's like a beautiful person.
He is, man.
Like, it's really amazing.
Some lyrics from the song. I don't need no sympathy. All I need is your love for me. Tell me now and I'll make you happy. Hey, baby. Come into my life.
Even just just come into my life is just, it's such a
what a way to
sweet
to express it.
Yeah.
What a way to put it.
Yeah.
It's great. That's good lyric writing.
It is. It's like I'm welcoming
Not the Shags,
you.
This. That's good. That's good lyric writing.
Hey, everybody, we got him to admit the Shags are bad.
Dude, what? Oh my god.
Also, we should keep a tally.
Get engaged in that.
We should keep a tally. How many episodes in a row have we talked about the Shags?
Probably all of them from now on.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Anyway, yeah. I've waxed on about this one. What about you? How do you feel? This is your standout as well?
Yeah. I mean, I really only wrote down the one "Suffering in the Land," but my second one, I was gonna put "Come Into My Life." But
yeah.
No, I mean, it's my appreciation for it. It's not really that deep. It's just a great song.
Yeah. Sorry, Roomba's talking.
Oh, your Roomba is talking. Oh.
Then press P to restart. Please
best. Okay.
Go.
Oh, I get to go first. Nice.
You go first.
Should I say them both at the same time or only start with favorite?
Let's do favorites and then best.
Okay, favorite is Vietnam.
Me too.
Yes.
Are we complete I have a feeling we are in complete sync.
Is this the first time? No, but dude, knowing
we're going for it.
We're gonna get to best, and you're gonna say some heinous shit.
No, I don't think so.
You,
I don't think so. I'm gonna say hello, sunshine.
See? Do you see what I'm dealing with, people?
Just kidding. I actually like that song.
Somebody help me.
Okay, Vietnam. Favorite, Vietnam. I 1,000% agree with you. This is my favorite.
Yeah, man.
It would objectively be the best if it wasn't for like the obvious song on this album.
Other song.
It's clearly the best song fucking ever.
Yeah, this Vietnam is one of my favorite reggae songs that there is, man.
Ever.
It was one that I really, really fell in love with. Because there was a period of time I didn't like immediately fall in love with reggae.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, first of all, I grew up in California, so you're always around it. Like, you know, the music of our people is sublime.
Sure.
Right.
True.
And then Bob Marley is always, but even when Brian Wallace,
Bob Marley is like the Old Testament and Sublime is like the New Testament.
Yeah. Right. For Californians. Yes, exactly. No, dude,
it's true.
It like actually is when you're. Anyway,
yeah,
but fucking, what am I saying? When Brian Wallace actually started to introduce me to, you know, beyond that actual the Jamaican music that's below the surface, I didn't instantly fall in love with it. And it was a period of a couple of years of like gaining an appreciation for it and sort of like discovering what is about it and what is great about it and the ways in which both musically and historically and culturally, the ways in which it's like really interesting and fun and rewarding and insightful and all of that shit, right? And creative and first Jimmy Cliff album that I listened to was his live album. It's called In Concert: The Best of Jimmy Cliff. Have you ever seen this? It's the one. The album cover is very memorable. It's the camera's above him, looking down. He's on stage. He's in the spotlight, and he's wearing his. It's not his black shirt with the yellow star. It's the yellow shirt with the black star.
That's cool.
In the middle.
That's
and
cool.
He's just like got his arms back and he's just singing his goddamn heart out.
Sort of reminiscent of his outfit in The Harder They Come.
Exactly. It's like the inverse of it.
Yeah.
And it's just like a vocal masterclass. The band is ridiculous.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about just like how fucking good this guy is at singing.
Yeah, I know. We haven't even gotten into his singing voice yet. I sort of decided I'm just gonna save it for the either final thoughts or when we get into best song. That might be a good spot for it too. But there's a version of Vietnam on that live album.
Does he change the lyrics?
No, he doesn't.
Like, because
still Vietnam.
One of my favorite things he did later is like he would change the lyrics of Vietnam to like Afghanistan or something like that. Like, because to highlight how perennially like fucking relevant this song is, like forever and ever and ever and ever.
Exactly. I was really tight with a lot of the people who were involved in the making of his 2012 album Rebirth.
Right, with Tim Armstrong, right?
Yes, exactly. That he won the Grammy for. That was made by a lot of that was made in L.A. by a lot of heavy hitters of the L.A. reggae scene.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, it's like Tim Armstrong of Rancid produced an album for Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah,
it's fucking
it
sick.
was his first album in 8 years, which I believe was the longest that he had ever gone without making an album, and it very much was like the rebirth and the resurgence of his career. And the big part of the philosophy of it was him going back to these original styles of recording, which is what these all of us in LA love so much, and and I was at Center Staging, the studio that I worked at in 2012, is just by chance, and I already knew all these guys, but it's where they had like the press, like unveiling.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like the music equivalent of a screening of
Sure.
a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of like
So it was like a listening party type deal?
they had a party, but instead of listening to the album, Jimmy, Cliff, and the band played the whole album live.
Wow.
At Center Staging.
Jesus.
And so I was there, and he's, Jimmy Cliff was probably in his 60s at this time. And his voice sounded exactly the same.
I saw him perform live around this same time period, and I saw him with people who were not reggae fans that just knew of Jimmy Cliff, and we all felt the same way. Like, unbelievable that this man in his 60s sounded like that.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
A lot of his cohort, it's not the same thing. Their voice, and not just Jamaicans, people from around the world, their voices deteriorate.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That's happened to your favorite musicians. Not him.
No, he sounded just as good.
And I remember I was standing next to one of the managers of the whole project, good homie, friend of the show, Eric Kohler. And I mentioned that to him. I'm like, dude, his voice sounds exactly the same. He's like, yes, it does. And I'm like, why does his sound the same and nobody else does?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and he said, clean living.
Wow. So he never got into all the bullshit.
Yep.
Drugs.
He's like, that is what's possible if you just like live healthy and don't fuck with your body.
Yeah.
You too could be in your 60s and have an incredible singing voice that sounds just like it did when you were in your 20s.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, okay.
And it's so noted. It's funny because it is, so many artists are just these tortured people, right? And it's
self-medicate all day, every day.
Yeah, their whole life, and you just assume that's just what happens if you sing or perform or do anything long enough. You just deteriorate.
It's not from the singing.
Yeah,
their voices don't get fucked up because they sing so much.
Right.
In so many cases, like these artists will periodically appear for a tour, or whoa, he's releasing an album. Wow. I wonder what he was doing in between those tours and in between those albums. In a lot of cases, unfortunately, it ain't singing is what they were doing.
Withering away.
There's self-medicating is what they're doing. So, but not Jimmy Cliff. Yeah. So, he sounded incredible. And yes, so the reason why I brought that up is I was blown away because I was like waiting for him to sing my favorite song, Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my favorite song, Vietnam. And he sang it and they started playing. And this is in 2012. And it gets to the chorus and he starts singing Afghanistan.
Sick.
Afghanistan.
Sick.
And I was like, fuck yes, Jimmy!
It's so awesome. Oh my God. So awesome.
Still got it. See, and this is what these original Jamaican artists had, man. Like it's not just a musical thing. It's an ethos. It's a spirit. They stick their finger in the eye of the leaders. They're like, fuck you, fuck what's going on. And like, that's what we're missing. That's what we don't do.
Yeah. We have to highlight just the way this song is brilliant, which is basically it's Jimmy Cliff reading or recounting a letter he got from a fighter in Vietnam.
Do your thing. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. These lyrics, but yeah.
So yesterday I got a letter from my friend fighting in Vietnam, and this is what he had to say. Tell all my friends that I'll be coming home soon. My time will be up sometime in June. Don't forget, he said, to tell my sweet Mary her golden lips are sweet as cherry. And then it goes to the chorus. And then the second verse, and this is kind of what puts the button on the whole song. It was just the next day his mother got a telegram. It was addressed from Vietnam. Now Mistress Brown, she lives in the USA. And this is what she wrote and said. Don't be alarmed, she told me, the telegram said, but Mistress Brown, your son is dead. It's like so simple.
Yes.
So fucking simple, but it encapsulates everything about how fucked that conflict and every armed conflict that the United States has been involved with, frankly, are before we were born, since before we were born, like ever. Like it's so simple, but it's fucking absolutely brilliant.
Losing your baby in a foreign land. Yeah.
And like a guy who's he's the most important thing, the top of his mind is just like the girl he's in love with. It's like super basic elemental human shit.
Right. Yeah. Looking forward to his future, his life. Oh, when I'm gonna marry and it's gonna be great. Yeah.
It's really basic, but I encourage you, if you've never heard this song, it is kind of like the fortunate.
If you've never heard this song, I don't know why you're listening this deep into this episode.
Yeah, but it's almost like a Fortunate Son type song or something like that, but it's kind of better. Like I think it's fucking better than that song.
I mean,
that's a great song.
When we do our Credence episode, Credence is fucking legit.
They are. But that's what I'm saying.
Might.
That's what I'm
saying. It's at least as good as Credence, possibly better.
That's what I'm saying. Is this is on the level of your Fortunate Sons, and like me personally, I like this more than that song. Okay. But granted, that is high praise. I'm giving it as high praise as I can because that Fortunate Son is one of the greatest anti-war anthems of all fucking time.
Of course.
But this is up there.
So I just want to touch on the very delightfully and hilariously convoluted sequence of locations and events that are depicted in these lyrics. Okay, because so the letter from Vietnam is to me, who's in Jamaica, right? It's from my friend, the letters from my friend in Vietnam to me
in Jamaica,
saying, "Tell all my friends that I'll be home to Jamaica soon." Okay, then I got a a telegram came from Vietnam to America to his mother, who's Mistress Brown, and then Mistress Brown wrote a letter to me in Jamaica to tell me
what the telegram
from Vietnam to the USA said about what happened in Vietnam.
Are you confused?
Yeah. So
I think to deconvolute
it just speaks to Jimmy Cliff's power that he's able to make that easy to understand.
I think to deconvolute it.
George R.R. Martin fucking Westeros level. Anyway.
I think what you could do, this is what I do. I take the Jamaica out of it entirely. Jamaica's not mentioned. You're inferring Jamaica because Jimmy Cliff is in Jamaica. I infer this as Jimmy Cliff is singing from the perspective of an American.
Wherever,
which is also a leap.
Jimmy Cliff is located, it sounds like it's outside the boundaries of the USA because he says, it was just the next week I got a telegram from Mistress Brown.
She lives in the
USA.
You're actually right.
I mean, he could be in the USA too, but if so, then he's giving us a needless detail. She, like me, lives in the USA. I also do, but she does too.
Okay. You're right. That particular line does infer that he actually is in Jamaica and that this is very convoluted. But when he sings it, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as Brandon's making it out to be. It
only is when you think about it. If you don't think about it, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Like, what did we say last episode? You shouldn't think about this reggae shit. Don't fucking think about it. Just don't worry about it.
No negative vibes.
No negative vibes, dude. You're really harshing my buzz right now.
Good vibes only. I'm trying this knife hit.
Dude.
Just take a dab.
I'm trying to do a dab out of my butthole right now. Okay. Yeah, so chill. Calm down. Anyway, now that you've sullied the fucking genius of Vietnam, we should go to. I feel like we're about to go 4 for 4 today. This is fucking amazing because this never happens.
I still think you're about to ruin it, but go ahead.
No. What do you? Are you serious? What
What?
do you think I'm gonna pick? What do you honestly think I'm gonna pick right now?
You're probably gonna say that's the way life goes because it fucking rocks, man.
No, that's my least favorite song.
Finally,
That is
how cool is
no.
this, man? That you get to hear your favorite reggae artist and he like rocks. Isn't that cool? Everybody, tell me in the comments that's something that Nate would say.
No.
That is what Nate would say. All right. Anyway.
No.
I know you're not. I'm just teasing you. I'm just fucking around. I'm just trying to make a podcast. I'm just teasing you.
Quit
I
trying
know
to
what
make a
you're gonna
fucking
say.
podcast and pick the best
You're gonna
song
say
with
my
me.
ancestors.
It's many rivers to cross.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The obvious best song on the album is Many Rivers to Cross. It is painfully good and amazing. The best song on one of my favorite reggae albums is not a reggae song.
Is not a reggae song. It's
not a reggae song.
Look, I can hear the click clacking of all of y'all about to comment. Actually, it is. I mean, Jimmy Cliff is a reggae artist. No, it isn't. Okay.
Yeah.
There are musicological things that make a song be a ska song, and if it doesn't have it, if the drummer isn't doing that thing and the piano isn't doing that thing, it is not a ska song. Same is true about rocksteady. Same is true about reggae, and so on and so on and so on. What it is determined by what the musicians, the backing musicians, are playing, and this is not a reggae song.
This is not a reggae song. No. Jimmy Cliff very often strayed, colored outside the lines when it came to musical styles, which is kind of one of the coolest things about him. And one of the things that I think really endured himself and garnered him such wide appeal in the United States and everywhere around the world. This one really being like, this is his I think this is his biggest song. I think a lot of people would think it's I Can See Clearly Now, that version of that song. This is his biggest song.
This is his biggest song.
This is the biggest one by far.
It's either this or The Harder They Come, probably.
Yeah. This one,
but
just
it's this.
like like covered by like every fucking artist ever. Kind of really does. Maybe it's just in my brain because Jimmy Cliff covered Cat Stevens, but this kind of feels like a Cat Stevens song in a lot of ways to me. For some reason, it's.
By the way, the version of Wild World that is on that live album that I was talking about, particularly the live unfucking believable, but the studio one is too. Yes.
I actually think that Jimmy Cliff's version of Wild World is the definitive version of Wild World. I prefer it over Cat Stevens' version. Like that's one of my fucking favorite songs of all time. But yeah, Many Rivers to Cross, just a very poignant, gentle start to the song that just builds and builds and builds and crescendos in this just fucking eruption of like emotion and like I was saying earlier, like this is an album about picking yourself up when you're down and like how the world can like kick the shit out of you like over and over and over again. And like that's just kind of that's the way life goes, to quote a way worse song from the same album. It's Use What I Got, Hard Road to Travel, Suffering in the Land. Time will tell.
It's his shtick.
This is the theme of the album. Is like it's crystallized and perfected on Many Rivers to Cross, but it is like the primary driving force in Jimmy Cliff's life. At least at this point, you can tell is just the absolute like tenacity of sticking it out. Just trying to stick it out, just trying to get through life while struggling growing up in Kingston and in Jamaica during this time period when it was so crazy and difficult.
That's right. And I really love how the last line of the last verse is think after all the lyrics prior up to this is just like, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, and I'm only getting by, but mind over matter and the strength of my pride and the strength of my will and everything. The last line of the last verse is thinking of committing some dreadful crime. Or there'll be times I find myself thinking of committing some dreadful crime.
Right.
Is
like
the end.
Yeah, like he's even through all this, like he's considering doing something awful just to get by. Like
exactly, he takes that opportunity to like lend some understanding and some humanity to you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, to like
no matter who it is that you see out there, like there is some life path where you know what I mean. That would be you.
Yeah. Could be
that
you.
would be you holding that gun. That would be you planting that bomb. That would be you doing whatever, like a person doesn't live the life that you've lived and then one day decide to do that.
Right.
That's not how that works.
Yeah.
So earlier I thought it was great. You used the word generosity to talk about Jimmy Cliff. There it is, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big minded, big hearted,
huge
person.
Heart, huge heart in this guy. Like just what a lovely, lovely man he was. Just someone like you could like really look up to, like genuinely. Like,
why can't you be more like Jimmy Cliff, man? God,
why can't we all? I mean, fuck.
That's true.
I don't know what
that. That's a pretty good point.
I don't know what we can really add to the discussion around Many Rivers to Cross. It's like, if you've never heard this song, it's kind of the entire reason to even listen to this album, dude. Like if you've never listened
sorry, I keep interrupting you.
You're good. You're okay.
We talked about the mixing of it. It's got and it's very 1969. I mean,
it is.
This is when. I mean, I wonder how much time is in between this and when friggin' Joe Cocker is singing "Get By with a Little Help from My Friends"
dude,
at Woodstock. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, that is such a good pull. That is so much what this is.
Yeah, and the organ thing, it's evoking Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin 1 vibes. Like this is so, it's right in there.
Joe Cocker, you're so right. This is fucking Joe Cocker type shit right here. But it's just a little more, it's more heartfelt than that. Joe Cocker is like badass and kind of, you know what I mean? And
wild. Joe Cocker's on drugs.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cliff is, this is coming from the heart.
This is,
okay. Here's the last thing to talk about is this is now the time to finally talk about Jimmy Cliff's voice.
Sure.
Because he is the voice. So we were talking about, all right, Bob Marley is the big daddy. He's number one.
Sure.
Then when you talk about, okay, who's number two? There's a short list. Peter Tosh would be one. Some might say, I don't know, somebody like Gregory Isaacs or somebody like
definitely
Desmond Decker, Alton Ellis or something. But probably the strongest candidate is Jimmy Cliff. And among all these people, he's the fucking voice.
Yeah, dude. He
gifted.
Gifted. Chills every time I hear him sing. Like we talked about how great of a voice Peter Tosh has, right? Peter Tosh is amazing. Peter Tosh is a fucking powerhouse of a man, a musician, a singer, a songwriter. But it's like, as great as his voice is and the timbre of his voice is so unique and interesting, he doesn't necessarily send chills down by my spine when he opens his mouth, right? It's awesome and he's great. But Jimmy Cliff,
it's fantastic delivery, and it's more about the words that he's saying.
Sure.
But I mean, no, he is a great singer. But,
he's a great singer, yeah.
But Jimmy Cliff
Jimmy Cliff's on another level, though.
Right, exactly. Like all the others are really, really great singers, but Jimmy Cliff is the only one that's like, now we're in like, the Christina Aguilera, fucking Mariah Carey type thing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great R&B artists, but there are some where the basis of their career is the virtuosic performance of their voice. Jimmy Cliff is great in the same way that Whitney Houston is great. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And it's also like the register at which his voice like is at home is so high and like effortless up there.
It's
and
part
there's
of the gift.
It's part of the blessing. Gift. And there's something about his ability to be so virtuosic in that register in particular. It's almost evocative of like a beautiful like violin or something, right? Or like some kind of wind instrument or something. Like some kind. It's evocative of these beautiful like stringed instruments that just almost instantly give you chills, or like almost instantly like are evocative of like, just great performances, melodies, whatever. Like it's he lives in this, he's at home in this register that is really unique, especially in reggae. Well, I wouldn't say especially in reggae, but like because there's some other like really high singers.
I mean,
but not like him though. Right, like Police and Thieves. Who sings on
Junior Murvin?
Junior Murvin.
Yeah,
Junior Murvin is an example of
falsetto.
Like falsetto, right? It's really high, but it's not like it's cool, but it's not like moving.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
And I mean even Desmond Decker sang super high, but and a lot of people do, but you're right. It's not particular to reggae because, like all of these other styles, there's 95% of everybody is just incredible, amazing singers.
Yeah.
Grade A. But then there's a special cream of the crop that are just on this diva level.
Yeah.
And some of those happen to be men, and Jimmy Cliff is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go, man.
Amazing.
We just talked about Jiminy Cliff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we kind of said it. It's he's a gregarious, big-hearted, generous, immensely talented, unheralded in comparison to some of his contemporaries, brilliant, once in a lifetime talent. who also had the songwriting ability of like a Lennon or a Cat Stevens.
That's what I was going to say. That's my final thought is it never was sufficiently appreciated by me until now, until researching into this, how so many of the other vocalists that are in this diva S tier, a lot of them, that's their ticket in. And that's what they have to offer to the world is the performance and the voice. Jimmy Cliff had the songwriting too, man.
Wrote songs, dude. Yeah.
And unique to compared to his contemporaries. And that's something that I've always loved about Bob Marley is how just creative and innovative and outside of the box thinking of a songwriter he was in comparison to all of the other artists in Jamaica that were in his community.
Yeah. And how like unique that makes their brand of reggae. Marley and Jimmy Cliff and Peter Tosh, for that example. Like it's like I compare him to like something like maybe a Gregory.
I think Tosh is a bit more conventional. Compared to Bob and Jimmy.
I agree.
In my opinion.
But I would go even more in the extreme of someone else we've talked about. I would compare like maybe Wailing Souls or Gregory Isaacs, where it's like what to me the songwriting process sounds like with those artists is like the band comes up with like a rhythm, a groove, a chord shape. And then and it might be two chords, and it's something really simple. And then Gregory Isaacs like iterates on top of that with his melody or whatever, right?
Yes.
That is a awesome, fucking amazing.
That's the normal way.
That's the normal way. It's a fucking awesome, very satisfying way
that's the
to
way
listen.
That you're quote unquote supposed to do it. That's the regular way.
Yeah. Compare that though to the Jimmy Cliffs and the Bob Marleys. Their music is so much more complex because they sit down with a guitar and they work it all out. They work everything out, and there's so much more nuance and detail into the chord shapes and like
Like I was talking before about the the brilliance that I'm assuming it was Bunny Wailer brought to the song Burial on Legalize It. And I was like, dude, there's a there's a 1 to 6
Yeah.
in a roots reggae song. I was like,
Right.
find me another example of that. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist, right? And while that's still true because this is not a roots reggae song, but I'm like looking at the music that's in this Jimmy Cliff album, and I'm like, oh my god, the one that we were playing before.
Yep.
What is that? Is that Hard Road to Travel?
Yeah. Yep.
The, So the intro is the 6 to 1, and then as soon as he gets to the verse, it's the 1 to 6. He's got in Vietnam, and then it goes.
Yeah.
Like nobody does that.
Yeah. It's
and these rock and roll songs. That's the way life goes. Many rivers to cross. These songs that are not reggae. Any other Jamaican artist during this time, who would have written them? They would have been written by somebody else.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cliff wrote those non-reggae songs.
Yeah.
That have the musical conventions of other styles of music.
Right.
And it's incredible, man. And
Yeah,
I never really understood how it was him who brought that in. I always assumed that he'd been working with some producer that would bring this international sensibility to his stuff because he obviously was taking such an international approach to his persona.
Yeah.
But it was actually him himself and his love and his
and I think the way
his
he was
heroes were American musicians.
You can hear
that's
it.
That's who he wanted to be like.
You can hear it. It's Lennon. It's like John Lennon. You can hear the John and John Lennon covered Many Rivers to Cross.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
It's awesome.
Oh, I need to hear that.
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
So you can just hear it, man.
I'm looking that up,
and it was like a reciprocal back and forth appreciation. Like he obviously was so fucking influenced by all the Elton Johns, the John Lennons, the fucking Paul Simons, all these guys, right?
Harry Nilsson and John Lennon.
It's so good.
Get out of here.
It's
okay.
So good.
I'm listening to that as soon as we're done with this.
So it's like it was like a self-referential thing, or like, you know, they referenced each other. It's like, you know, he loved them and that came out in their music. And then I think they naturally, their ears all perked up and was like, damn, okay, look at this guy. He can do it too. Like he's doing what we do, you know, like he's just as good. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why he was trying even right this early on to break out of the Jamaican scene or whatever. Maybe he saw himself in that light as like not just another Jamaican singer, part of this machine or whatever. It's like he probably saw himself as I'm just a songwriter. I'm just from Jamaica, you know.
From everything that you can see from his body of work, I mean, all of his albums after this, it really seems like he's a major progenitor of the seeing oneself as a citizen of the world, kind of a thing. You know
Big time.
I mean? Like,
big time.
You know, I don't think he ever let go of that. You know, I am from Jamaica, but you know, he's a huge pioneer of the notion that we are one,
right?
All of us, you know, that we each have the blessing of this really cool individual culture and place that we come from. However, he's exactly the same as John Lennon. You know, we're just songwriters. We're just musicians. We just sing. You know. Yeah. And I think it really seemed like he never struggled. I hope he didn't, but it seems like he never really struggled with like an imposter syndrome, or kind of like a darker side of the artist's mind that so many of us suffer from. Yeah, he really seemed like
he was had a happy, good life and a long, fruitful,
and thankfully
successful
a long
career
one that he kept working through the whole time. And it seemed like he saw himself as belonging in the fraternity of songwriters and musicians.
Yeah,
you know?
the pantheon of the greats. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think he was. I honestly do think he was. Like if you listen, that's the primary reason I wanted to pick. There's a million reasons I wanted to pick this album, but the primary one, just being that these are some of the best fucking songs I've ever heard. I mean, I have been obsessed with this album since I graduated high school. Like I constantly have returned to this album years and years and years now. So I don't know.
It's so cool. Yeah, I know so many of the songs from it, but this was the first time that I sat down and just went through the whole thing.
Yeah.
All the way through, and I'm like, oh, so that's the way life goes.
That's the way life goes. Aside from that song, really good.
Well, thank you for showing me that's the way life goes. Well, no, but you also did show me "Suffering in the Land," dude.
So good.
Come on, yeah,
So
I definitely never heard this.
Come on. Okay, so with that, we started doing Mailbag, and then I don't know what happened.
People stopped writing us mail.
Yeah, people stopped writing us mail. But I'm going to do a quick Mailbag. We got one really good Mailbag I wanted to read because I don't think Brandon has heard this yet.
Quick mail bag.
Yeah. Okay. So this was a comment on our Grace Jones episode, which I'm pretty sure possibly this guy is the only one who watched the entire thing of. So gotta show him some love and read this comment.
Dear idiots, you guys suck.
Yeah. So this is from a user named T.O.P.
Isn't it just top?
I don't know. T.O.P. It's T-E-E-O-H-P-E-E. So T-O-P.
T-O-P. Oh, yeah. I see.
Yeah. So
I'm just trying to be stupid. Don't pay attention to me. Keep going.
Yeah. So he writes, he left a comment on our Grace Jones episode. He says, in 1989 or 90, I saw a phone number spray painted on the sidewalk in the East Village of New York City. I called the number. It was a message.
Like you do.
Yeah. It was a message service for club promotions. I gave my address. A few weeks later, I received an invite for a Sunday afternoon underwear party at the Palladium with a special musical guest. It was free to get in if you checked your clothes, or it cost $25 to check your coat. I picked the free choice. Yeah. When I got on the dance floor, there was a mini stage on the stage that was decorated to look like a giant sheet cake. It had...
What are we doing with our lives,
I know. I'm so jealous of this story. It gets so much better.
Why can't you be these level of cool friends?
I know.
Jeez.
So there was a mini stage on the stage that was decorated to look like a giant sheet cake. It had hundreds of sheet cakes attached to the front and sides of the stage. Eventually, the lights go down and out comes Grace Jones. She did about a half-hour set. During the last song, she bent down and peeled a sheet cake off the side of the stage and threw it into the audience. That's when I realized why we had to check our clothes. Then everyone started peeling sheet cakes off the stage, and we had the biggest cake fight ever.
Oh my God.
Kind of fucking the coolest story ever. So cheers, Grace Jones.
That is better than
the episode.
That's better than any story I have.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, man.
So pretty cool. So we're still getting some good comments every once in a while.
This is giving me ideas for our album release party that we need to have.
Yes, which we should talk about. But first, before we do that, Brandon, next week is your turn to pick the next Reggae Summer album.
Next pick. That's right. So I'm trying to pull up. There's my notes app. Okay. The third album of second annual Reggae Summer, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we're going to put things right. Okay. The world has been out of balance because we have not talked about this album yet. We've started talking about reggae and roots reggae, and we haven't talked about this album, which is heinous. Mm-hmm. We're putting it right. We're finally going to be talking about the Mighty Diamonds' Right Time.
I am so stoked for this.
Yes.
So I, of all the albums across all of Reggae Summer, possibly aside from the Third World one we did last year, this is the album I'm probably the least familiar with.
Yeah.
That
I'm
you
excited.
have
Yeah.
sung its praises for so many years, and I have honestly been holding off listening to it so that we would be fresh for Reggae Summer.
I'm glad. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
It's going to make for an awesome experience for yourself and a good convo.
Yeah. I'm really excited because without spoiling it, this is going to kick off a little mini 3-album run where we talk about 3 of the best vocal trios ever in Jamaican music history. And probably most appropriately starting off with Mighty Diamonds because they're fucking awesome. And I think, you know, the other 2 that we're going to talk about, I think it goes like in ascending. Well, not quite. The other 2 that we're going to talk about are probably a little more well known than Mighty Diamonds, I would think. But Mighty Diamonds,
no, they definitely are.
Yeah, but Mighty Diamonds are so good, in every way as the other.
As good as it gets. Yeah. There are many that are legendary and great, and you know, as good as it gets, but and none of those are better than Mighty Diamonds.
Right. And like last summer we talked about kind of Wailing Souls, but that was like a little bit of a later period, right? Than what we're going to cover with Mighty Diamonds and these other ones.
That's right. The Wailing Souls album that we talked about was 82, I believe, right? And that's like the later years of roots reggae, and I mean, Right Time, I believe, is 76.
Right. So a little bit early, I would say just prior to that era.
Yeah, 76. Yeah, exactly. So sort of how earlier we were talking about how it wasn't until the mid 70s that the Rasta thing really kicked off. Like this album is part of, you know, the standard bearing, the people waving that flag of here they come. Like, it's over. There's nothing that is going to be happening that is not Rasta as hell anymore. It is now officially Marcus Garvey time, full time, and it's called Right Time. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So look forward to that next episode. Mighty Diamonds, Right Time. Get it in your ear holes and check it out. In there. Yeah, get it in there.
It's also notable as being, you know, which we'll go more into, but just to connect with you, Nate, from what we've talked about so far, and for those of you listeners, from everything that we've talked about so far, one of the interesting things about this is that this album was really the first like successful production by Joseph Hu Kim.
Oh, wow.
Right. So coming from being a businessman, going like, oh, hey, I should open a recording studio. Right. Great. Let's do it.
He had kind of a couple botched, not so good productions.
Years of just crap, just bull crap that he made because him and his brothers didn't fucking know how to make records. They didn't know anything about music at all.
Didn't know how to use the equipment they bought.
And they would years later end up being just monsters of making the finest reggae that has ever been made.
Yeah.
But this album, Right Time, is like the first one where it's like, bam,
dang,
got it.
Awesome.
Nailed it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome. Well, look forward to that. So with that, before I launch into the Patreon screed, we should say our new album that is coming out this fall.
New album.
It is titled A Black Market Double Feature. In the same vein as A Black Market Christmas, this is our Halloween offering. This is in almost every way like a thematic sequel to A Black Market Christmas. We have the return of the artist. Oh my God, I can't believe you have it. If you're listening to this in audio, go check out the YouTube video. Brandon is showing off the album artwork. Yeah, our new album coming out. We don't have the date set yet, but coming out in time for Halloween is called A Black Market Double Feature. And this album sees the return of Anthony Carranza from the Shape Comics, who did the cover of the a Black Market Christmas album, so he came back and he did the artwork for this. Michael Buchmiller also did additional artwork for the album. He's kind of the in-house Escape Hatch Records artist.
Fucking genius. That guy is.
Also, nuts. We got the Joe Bob Briggs to do the back cover album write-up. The Joe Bob Briggs of at the Last Drive-In fame. So very stoked. I'm a huge fan of his, and he was so fucking cool to do the back cover write-up for us. The album is like a loose. I would not even say loose. The album is a concept album about.
It's a concept.
It's a concept album about Brandon and I sitting at a drive-in movie theater that gets invaded by zombies and aliens. While we are sitting there trying to watch Night of the Living Dead and Plan 9 from Outer Space. So the album features our 2 EPs, Night of the Living Dead and Plan 9 from Outer Space on sides A and B. And it also includes 2 additional new tracks, versions of Let's All Go to the Lobby.
New music.
Yeah. And in addition to that, we recorded all these really fun skits with our friends that have all this amazing sound design that Brandon did.
It's like radio theater, like audio theater. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really fucking fun. Brian Wallace mastered it. Of course, you've got, John Roy and everybody, the whole gang is all over the record. It's so cool. It is by far the most ambitious thing that Brandon and I have ever tried to do. And I'm so proud that we did it. So far. Yeah. So proud that we did it. Can't wait to get it out and out of the way so that we can finally focus on other things. Because this album has actually been in the can for like a year. So we're stoked. Couldn't be more excited. It's going to be a limited press of about 250 records. There's probably also going to be a bunch of other fun little goodies inside of it as well. So it inserts and whatnot. It's going to be really fun. So get ready for that. Get your wallets out. And with that...
And get in that Patreon.
Yeah, with that, get in the Patreon zone. Go join our Patreon, patreon.com/blackmarketdub. You can get lots of fun little tidbits and behind-the-scenes stuff. You get free, ad-free versions of this show. We will send you vinyl. If you want a copy of some vinyl, we will send you a copy. If you don't have
new record, when it comes out, you'll be like, oh, look, this person is a patron and contributes to us every month. What should we do with this album? Should we sell it to him?
Yeah.
No. We should just give it to him.
We should give it to him.
And that's what we do.
Yeah. So join our Patreon. Help support us. We're doing everything we can to keep this train rolling. So patreon.com/blackmarketdub. Also, blackmarketdub.bandcamp.com. That's where you can get all of our music, all the cool remixes, Hall & Oates, David Bowie, Elton John, Beach Boys, all the other Halloween craziness music we've made. The digital version of the Christmas album is on there.
House on Haunted Hill,
which is dope.
It's so good.
So good. I actually listened to it. I got super stoned and listened to it about a week ago. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, super fun stuff. Check it out. Go help us out. Also, escapehatchrecords.com. They are constantly putting out amazing music, amazing exclusive vinyl. Mr. John Roy, the proprietor of Escape Hatch, our generous benefactor who's helps us in so many ways. Also on Escape Hatch, we do kind of a sister podcast that I am always on with John, and Brandon is very often on, called Conversational Liner Notes. And so you can check that out at the Escape Hatch Records YouTube channel if you want some additional bullshit of me talking even more.
Yeah, if you haven't got enough of this guy.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, Brandon.
Yo.
Push us off the Jimmy Cliff once and for all.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Let's end this.
That was a bar.
That was a bar. You are welcome.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening. We love you. And remember, that's the way life goes. Tomorrow one never knows. That's the way life goes today. Goodbye.
Bye bye.